Hello, welcome back to Higurashi connecting fragments art as we continue to connect the pieces for the perfect world. Last time we did a lot of Hojo stuff with the family. We did boom how the Hojo and Sonozaki feud started. Boom 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 bat story stuff. So I mean, let's just no comments besides it was pretty good, and it's nice to kind of get to know Satoko's parents a bit, and this was cool too. So, but I just wanna look at more fragments, dude. It's what I'm here to do. So we have a couple options. I forgot what they were. I think this is one of them. Maybe. We have help from the queen. I think L5 is could be under Irie's story. Obviously those aren't relevant. We can do this one. I think we can do this one. Maybe. We can do this one. So we have 4 options. Let's do Rika, dude. Get some more Rika. I ran in. Oh. Oops. I bumped my phone. Get back there. I ran into Satoko while on my way to the grocery store for my mother. Satoko said she was going there too, so we decided to go together. After exchanging our shopping lists, it became easy to guess what the other family would be having for dinner. Satoko's family is having grilled fish and cooked vegetables. We're having Salisbury steak. Not the biggest fan of the hamburger steaks, but I've only had them like twice in Japan, so I respect it though. Pumpkin, dude. Is pumpkin like a common vegetable to eat? I feel like it's like in Canada it's not, unless it's like in the fall season. I think that's like the only time I eat pumpkin. Seems like Satoko has to eat it 24/7 though. Really? It's kind of funny that Hani is a sweet tooth, but Rika isn't. Oh, never mind. Dude. I'm with you, Rika. Pumpkin pie is blessed. Conversations like this are how I have fun. Satoko is my best friend. I usually don't like grocery shopping, but if I'm with Satoko, I can make it into an enjoyable evening stroll. Near the supermarket, there's a there's a grocer's and other shops, forming a little shopping district. The grocery store is busy this time of the day. All of the housewives in Hinamizawa gather here to shop. Since Satoko and I have different things to buy, we decided to do our shopping separately. It's been a while since we've heard Rika sounds, I feel. Free stuff? Don't mind if I do. There are several candies for the owners, occasional asthma attack inside a sea full of change hanging in the front. What? Okay. He gave some? The heck are candies for asthma? Would they even taste good? I mean, I used to have asthma as a kid. Is that like a real thing? You take candies to help your asthma? Asthma candies. I don't know. Never heard of that in my life. I don't really see anything on Google, but interesting. It was my favorite, strawberry milk. I put it in my pocket so I can brag about it to Satoko later. You already know this is not gonna be a good one. Like the store owners are gonna be ignoring Satoko or something. I got a lot of fun out of teasing Satoko and making her jealous. She always overreacts, so I never get bored when I'm with her. Oh yeah? Rika-chama no tokoro wa kyou wa nandai? Buta no hikiniku dato. Ground pork. I thought we're having hamburger steak. Oh. Correct them. Yo. The pageantry. I enjoyed that conversation while filling my shopping basket. But then I overheard some woman whispering. They're talking about something that's a little harsh. They're talking about Satoko. How long do those village traders plan to stay here? They should just leave. They don't even have the guts to do the shopping themselves and make their daughter do it instead. The woman went on and on. Ever since the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family got into a huge fight at the explanatory meeting for the dam project, the Hojo family has been ostracized within the village. At first, there were a significant number of families in favor of leaving, like the Hojos. But the main branch of the Sonozakis led a push to completely solidify the village's opinion. And as that tone of unified resistance grew stronger, the pro-evacuation family steadily grew quiet. The public harassment led by the Sonozakis and Kimiyoshis, two of the three families with powerful influence on the village, also played an effect too. The Sonozaki family made the Hojo family into an example, to ensure there would be no more pro-evacuation supporters. The ancestors of the village have lived here for generations, and the villagers also know that they themselves would be buried in this village. So this harassment put a lot of pressure on them. Who was it that agreed to make the Hojo family the leader of the pro-evacuation group at the explanatory meeting? Those same people no longer said anything, and they even joined in on harassing the Hojo family. The snakes, bro. But, you know, it's the Hinamizawa culture, right? It's a rough one if you're going against the flow. The harassment they faced then became pressure from the entire village. The Hojo family is hardly wealthy, and they haven't paid the town council fees in a long time. When things were peaceful, nobody said anything about it. But now that the wind was blowing a different way, the Hojo family was asked to pay off all their late council fees immediately. It wasn't an amount they could they couldn't afford, but the Hojos recognized a fight was being pit with them and they responded to it. And so the Hojo family quit the town council. But that only played right into the village's evil plan. Making an enemy of the town council meant facing vicious harassment. For example, the place the Hojos dumped their trash was a provincial dumping site established by the town council and waste management department. Under the council agreement, only council members can use it. Wow. Ever since the day the Hojo family quit the village council, the trash bags were returned to their front door. Furthermore, all the bags were torn. It's actually pretty nasty. Jeez, I would hate that. Especially I don't like icky stuff too. On top of that, a sign went up on the hedgerow near the Hojo family. It said private road, no trespassing. Only council members permitted. A stubborn old man stood and guarded the road, saying that he would not let any of the Hojo family members pass through. A private road is a private property open up to the public, so it looks just like a normal road. However, as a private property, the owner can forbid anyone else to pass through whenever they like. More and more, the village piled on vicious harassment. The fear of antagonism spread through the entire village, and the people became afraid that if they supported the Hojo family, they'd go through the same thing. This made the Hojo family even more isolated. The grown-ups haven't told their kids about what's going on, so Satoko isn't harassed in any way at school. But it wasn't hard to imagine she probably spent her days feeling anxious, so anxious she could hardly breathe. Even the women whispering in here aren't saying anything directly to Satoko, but it's not like she doesn't notice their muttering and cold stares. When did this village become so cold towards her? As her best friend, it's very sad for me. Satoko's shopping experience is nothing like mine. When I say hello or buy things, I usually get treats or a discount, but that doesn't happen to Satoko. On the contrary, she's served last on purpose, and sometimes shop owners even pretend they don't hear her. Obviously, people don't want to have anything to do with her. Satoko had been weaving through the housewives crowding the shop, telling the fishmonger what she wanted, but she kept getting ignored. She decided to keep her smile and pretended she doesn't mind, but I know. It was far too painful for her to endure. At that point, Satoko dropped her coins on the ground. Maybe her fingers got stuck on something when she was trying to put the change back into her wallet. I ran through the crowd to help her pick them up. But as I did, I noticed something. Satoko dropped lots of coins, so it's struggling to pick them all up, but nobody is helping her. It's not just that, it's almost like they're acting like they don't even see her there. Satoko isn't expecting anyone to help her since she's the one who dropped them. But, there are so many people around, and not even one is trying to aid her.
Satoko, 僕も拾いますですよ。大丈夫ですわよ、リカ。
That reaction is all I need to tell how hurt she is. Furthermore, when I started to help Satoko, other housewives started to pick up the coins too. As if it's the natural thing to do. So they can only help if a shrine maiden of the Furude family does? If I didn't help, they would have disregarded her completely. And the fact that other people helped only because I did hurts Satoko even more. I grabbed the coins from the housewives without thanking them. I'd rather spit at them than do that.
ありがとうございますわ。リカ。皆さん。
If she didn't thank them, people would talk about that too. Satoko forced her words of gratitude. The housewives looked down at her with blank expressions. I can't stand this. I can't stand what Satoko is going through right now.
お買い物が終わりましたら行きましょうです、さとこ。ええ。
I grabbed Satoto's arm and pulled her away. I was frustrated, sad, and bitter. What has Satoto done? Reality is just too cruel. Everyone loves me. But can I share that love with Satoto? Satoto must be wondering why people treat me so differently. I shouldn't come shopping with her. Or rather, I should have done her shopping instead.
さとこ。なんですの、リカ。風にをばらまいてしまってかわいそうかわいそうなのです。なのでこれはさとこへの残念賞なのですよ。
The strawberry milk candy. I wanted to at least ease her pain a little bit, so I pulled out the strawberry milk candy I just received. But Satoto refused to take it.
その飴はリカがもらったものではありませんの。
My hand froze. She saw me getting this candy.
渡した人だってリカに食べてほしいと思って渡したんですわ。だから私が食べたら失礼ですわよ。
Satoto turned her back on me and kept walking. Without even saying goodbye, she continued onto her house with the shopping bags in her hands. I only wanted to ease her pain, but I ended up rubbing salt in her wound. How can I call myself her best friend? If I could, I would have crushed the candy right there. And the rough life of Satoto continues, dude. That's one way to start the episode. Though I guess most of the hints have been pretty sad. Dude, too much Satoto abuse. Haven't we had enough of this? Guess not. Well. Oh, we can do Mion next. Dude, give me Mion. Happy Mion? The only, like, happy one was, like, the freaking Tomotaki one for the first episode. Dude, can we have more of that? More Tomotaki, please? Should we do Mion or should we, I mean, we can do Mion, but we'll have to stop because we can't do this, I think, unless we get a red capsule from Mion, which I don't think so. Yeah, probably won't be able to do these until some of the curse stuff happens, right? Dude, you know we have to do Mion. My girl Mion. What's happening? Mion-san! Your friend is here. I heard the housekeeper's voice. Our house and the front yard are huge, so unlike normal houses, ringing a doorbell or yelling my name repeatedly, asking to play won't work. Rita? I guess. This is pre-Rena and Keiichi, right? Rita Furude Chama. It's nice to see you, Mion, again. We're seeing these back, finally getting intros. I mean, like, maybe when we replay the story, but we're not actually gonna see a lot of the main cast, I feel. It's gonna be more focused on, the other, like, Tomotaki, Takano, Ire stuff, I think, for the majority. And get, like, tidbits of, well, there's been a lot of, like, the Hojos and Rita and stuff, but yeah. Until maybe we get into, like, the fragments of Anotakashi and Watanagashi stuff at the end, or closer to the end of all this connecting. Watermelon, dude. I don't know. Watermelon's an okay fruit. I feel like it's pretty overrated, but, like, I don't know. It's not like I ever dislike eating it, but I'm never, like, excited for watermelon, you know? I'm much more of a any other melon kind of die. Cantaloupe, honey melon, is that a thing? Granny received many beautiful watermelons from somebody, so she wanted to share. I just told the Furude house a short time ago, and Rita-chan is here to pick one up. Did she come on her bicycle? I can't remember if it has a big enough basket. I pulled the watermelon from the well while thinking about that. The cold water in the well has refrigerated the watermelon, and the condensation makes it look delicious. The 3 members of the Furude family will enjoy it for at least 2 nights. I mean, if you're giving me a free watermelon, I'm obviously gonna take it. I'm definitely of the policy of if you're giving me something free, without it being like something sketchy or weird or something, then you know I'm gonna take it, dude. It's what we call value. It's probably hard for Rita to carry it. I mean, I guess she probably has the little basket on her bicycle. The priest answered the phone and I thought I told him to come pick it up. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, or maybe he misunderstood me completely. But she was here to eat the watermelon, not take it home. That's what I thought when she first mentioned the watermelon, but come on, have some happy watermelon fun. Whatever that means. Besides, the small basket on Rita-chan's bicycle won't hold the watermelon. Okay, she has the basket, but it's too big of a melon, dude. And it's too dangerous for her to ride it while holding it in her hands. Yeah, that just sounds scary to me. I can't even. I mean, I can barely ride a bike anymore. Whenever I only like ride a bike like every like year or two when I'm like with other people. But I like sold my bike a while ago, so I can't even ride. And riding without the handles is it's spooky. I'm not really good at driving stuff like cars, bicycles, and stuff. It's not my forte because I get too anxious usually about crashing into people. No matter whether she rides or pushes her bicycle, Rita-chan's hands will be occupied. So I'm gonna carry the watermelon. The sky's turning auburn in the sunset. The cool breeze feels good on my sandaled feet. The plastic bag I'm carrying contains the watermelon, and also some small bags of raw candy. If her mother finds them, she'll take them away, so we decided to eat them before we got her home. We opened the bags and enjoyed the raw candy. Rita-chan isn't an exception. Whenever kids from our neighborhood come to our house for errands, Granny gives them some treats. Actually, that's a pretty common rule here in Hinamizawa. It's funny, but sometimes when parents aren't watching, siblings will fight over who gets to take the circular notice to the next house over. So these bags of raw candy are like tips for them. Sweet deal. Of course, she doesn't normally give out this much. Usually it's just a little piece of it. Granny is being extra nice to Rita-chama.
おだちんは好意みたいなもんなんだもん。変に断るよりは子供らしくありがとうって言って笑顔を見せる方がよっぽどいいと思うけどね。
みーはおだちんをよくもらいますです。
Probably not as much as you.
昔はね。
Used to.
でもさすがにこの年になったらもらわなくなったな。今もらうとなんとか子供扱いされてるみたいでかえってカチンとくるかななんてね。
みー、僕は子供扱いなのです。
You are a child, though.
いいじゃんいいじゃん。もらえるうちにもらっとけばいい。私くらいになれば欲しくてももらえなくなるんだからさ。
As we talked about ordinary things, I noticed Rita-chan seemed a little sad.
どうしたの？
No, I just wanted wholesomeness, but Satoto-san come up. I mean, you'd expect it. But it's not like Mion or Rita, as we saw, could actually like change or use a opinion on the Hojo situation, right? So you need the power of Keiichi.
僕はお買い物に行っても
Yo, this is like the direct sequel.
さとこは一緒に行ってももらえませんです。
I can think of so many reasons why. Not only Satoto, but everyone in the Hojo family is being treated poorly in Hinamizawa. And the Sonozaki families are the ones who instigated that. The two dam supporters have died in an accident already. Oh. Wow, that... Is it? Huh. Okay, maybe it is a bit of time skip, or did that shopping thing happen after the deaths? No, it didn't happen after the deaths. So, it's not a direct sequel. Though it is related, I guess. But the malice against the Hojo family is still going. It's directed against Satoto and Satoshi, their children, and the aunt and uncle who are taking care of them. The big fight between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family at the explanatory meeting started all of this. But that was the Hojo couple, and it shouldn't have anything to do with the children and their aunt and uncle. But the idea that the Hojo families are traitors evolved on its own. Therefore, anyone bearing a Hojo name is to be treated poorly. The aunt and uncle weren't dam supporters, so over time the attacks towards them should have stopped. But they're rather odd, and keep having trouble with their neighbors. Odd's one way to put it. They don't follow the community rules, they don't do their community duties, and they spray pesticide while their neighbors' laundries are still hanging outside. They often get into fights with other villagers. They'd be hated even without the dam. Therefore, the Hojo family continues to be treated poorly. But none of that should have anything to do with Satoto and Satoshi. Satoto and Satoshi are often depressed at school. I tried to leave the conflict between the two families aside, but I wonder how they really feel about that. From their point of view, I'm just another member of the family that keeps harassing them.
せめて学校にはそんな雰囲気を持ち込ませたくない。だから私はそういう風に振る舞ってるつもりだよ。
それを学校の中だけでなく外にも広げるにはどうしたらいいのですか?
That'd be pretty difficult. The Hojo family made enemies of the three families. They were branded as traitors, and that's still considered the truth. It wouldn't mean anything if one person suggested an end to the hostilities, just because the events around the dam are history now. On the contrary, that would just put them in the same position. Unfortunately for Satoto and Satoshi, the only thing they can do is wait patiently until the issue withers away. All I can do for them is provide an oasis until that day comes.
では、さとこたちはいつまで耐え忍べばいいのですか?
Long time.
わかんない。ダム戦争は数年に及んだ。 その時に押された烙印を払拭するんだから、それと同じ年数はかかるかもしれないね。
それはつまり聡子たちが大人になるまで誰にも許してもらえないということですか？聡子が子供のうちはずっと村中から冷たい目で見られていろということですか？
それはあまりにも辛いね。
Angry Rika.
僕たちは聡子やサトシの仲間なのですよね。
そうだよ。
I like the motivation.
私にとってだって二人は友達だよ。仲間だよ。
なら僕たちの仲間を救うために僕たちに何かできることはないのでしょうか？
私たちに何ができるんだろうね。
Even if the Sonozaki family declares that the dam conflict is over, so the Hojo family are no longer outcasts, that won't solve the problem. It's not that simple. In the first place, Granny hates the Hojo family and won't suffer their name to be mentioned in her presence. It's not a matter of someone forgiving another. It's a matter of very complicated ties between people in this village. It's absolutely terrifying to have them as your enemies. Everyone knows that very well, and that's why they maintain good relationships with their neighbors. However, if you make enemies out of them, you have to face the consequences. That's the unwritten law of the Japanese community. And the Sonozaki family is part of this unwritten law. Now that the Hojo family are outcasts, not even the Sonozaki family can overturn this situation.
南沢のことは南沢の人間にはどうしようもないということなのでしょうか？
悲しいけどそういうこともあるかもしれない。もし聡子を救う人が現れてくれるとしたら、それは村のしがらみにとらわれないそういう人なんだろうね。
Dun dun dun.
でもそんな人
Yeah.
村にはいない。
村の外から誰かが助けに来なければ救われないということ。
Sorry, Rika. Like Rika-chan says, would a knight in shining armor from the outside world ever come here? Would that person bring a new wind into this village that has been filled with stale air for hundreds of years? No way. That's just wishful thinking. Time will solve the problem someday. Until then, I have to be their ally. I can't think of anything else I can do for them. As Rika-chan and I crunched on our rock candy, we can only pray that people will forgive Satoko and her family sooner rather than later. Rika-chan gently broke the heavy silence.
きっと村の外からしがらみにとらわれない人がやってきます。
そうだね。ダム戦争も終わったんだから、また分譲地に外から人が引っ越してきてくれるといいね。近い年の転校生とか来れば楽しいだろうに。
はは。
来ます。きっと。そして彼と力を合わせて私たちは村の悪兵を打ち破るのです。それが私たちの未来を閉ざす3つの錠前に対する最初の鍵。
え？何それ？なんかの小説？
Rika-chan says some odd things sometimes. When she talks that way, she seems so mature. I even start to doubt if she's really younger than I am. Switch? The unreasonable antagonism towards the Hojo family. No switch, okay. Will there really be someone from the outside who will shatter our old traditions? Boom boom. One day. Bam. I wonder if that unlocked the lock thing? Maybe. This thing. Oh, nope, definitely not. Water. Okay, so that's the watermelon. I thought there was a rock candy thing too, but that might just be the milk candy. Oh, rock candy is here too. We don't have test results though. Okay, what should we do for our possible last fragment? You know, taking it nice and slow. Plus I have like other stuff to do. We don't have high fever, right? So nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Is this different? Maybe. A raw sea urchin and vitamin A are required. She needs moral support. Huh. Okay, back to the earlier stuff. So we can do this. For sure. Maybe this? I feel. Maybe this? And maybe this? Couple of maybes. Let's try this. Let's try some guaranteed stuff. When researching Hinamizawa syndrome, there is something very important that needs to be discussed first. If something happens to the queen carrier, the village will collapse. In his article, my grandfather called it the most dangerous situation. According to my grandfather, if the queen carrier dies, all the infected persons will go terminal within 48 hours. This may sound unbelievable at first, but research on the collapse of past local religions and group suicides around the world should indicate that there's some truth to it. Obviously, connecting Hinamizawa syndrome to other religious things in the world. I mean, I don't know any first-hand examples of what she's talking about, but sounds believable, I guess. Among all the mysterious incidents in the world, around the world, there's some that were caused by parasites controlling entire communities, very similar to Hinamizawa syndrome. Grandfather picked a few cases that are very similar to the syndrome and investigated them. As a result, he confirmed multiple cases of entire communities losing their minds after the death of a religious leader or founder, and finally annihilating themselves. He stated that, on average, it happened within 48 hours. It's clear that infected people are affected by the queen carrier, and the condition of the queen carrier is, in fact, affecting the entire village. Our statistics already prove that on weeks Rika felt sick and visited the clinic, we saw an exceptionally high number of visitors. Rika being sick with a simple cold had a massive impact. If something particularly bad happened to her, we'd be facing a serious situation within 48 hours. That's why the Irie Institute has to protect Rika Furude, the queen carrier. It's the most important mission of the Hinamizawa Syndrome Research Project. She's already agreed to help us in our research, but we have to be very careful not to put her in any danger. Also, we have to protect her from anyone who would try to harm her. Her life is equal to the lives of 2,000 villagers. But what if something happens to her by accident? The Irie Institute must prepare for that situation. That's why I worked on the draft of an emergency manual when the Irie Institute was first established, the whatever it's called. Yeah, to cover it up. It's a precaution in case the queen carrier dies, or if infected people show acute symptoms due to the death of the queen carrier. This is an emergency procedure which must be followed within 48 hours of the mass occurrence of the acute symptoms. The final measure is to prevent damage from spreading to nearby areas. The plan uses gas, making it look like a natural disaster. My client, the Alphabet Project, took the responsibility of working out the details of my plan. They're used to dealing with things like nuclear and biological weapons, so they ended up being such a big help. There's no way I could have come up with a plan on my own to execute 2,000 villagers. Through a dummy company, the ground SDF has secured a closed quarry in the Higurashi region, upstream of Hinamizawa. It's to be the secret storage base for the equipment we'd use in that operation. Equipment that sprays deadly gas that kills people as if they were falling asleep is stored here. In the case of an emergency, a special unit of ground SDF is to use this equipment to destroy the village. However, preparing for the execution of the villagers itself is politically dangerous. So if I'm going to insist on them getting the equipment ready, I have to make them understand how dangerous Hinamizawa syndrome is, and also how urgent the need is to have a contingency plan. I have to prove the need for the plan by showing them enough data. So the files my grandfather kept intact come in quite handy. When the clients read my grandfather's articles about the syndrome, they were surprised to see how catastrophic things could be in a worst-case scenario.
つまり女王である一人の少女に何かがあれば村人2000人以上が全員錯乱するということなのですね。
はい。南沢症候群に極めて類似するいくつかのケースでは集団自殺を示すものが少なくありませんが、南沢症候群の場合、強い疑心暗鬼や過剰なまでの危機意識から何かの過剰防衛を行う可能性があり、被害は感染者2000人にとどまらないものと推定されます。それらは無政府状態の暴動から始まり、猟奇的なあるいは宗教的終末感にも似た異常な状況を作り出すでしょう。これに対する事前の鎮圧策を用意しなかった場合、世界の注目を浴びることは避けられません。また、その猶予は事態発生から48時間しかありません。
つまり、いざことが起こったらもう誰にも防げないということですな。
感染者全員を48時間以内に全員治療することは不可能なのかね？
無理だろう。それに治療方法すら確立していないし、研究所の規模では村人全員の救済は物理的に不可能だ。
しかしこのような恐ろしく珍しい病気があるとは世の中わからんもんですな。
常に最悪の事態に備えることは国防にも通じますし、我々アルファベットプロジェクトの理念でもあります。そして使うことが目的なのではなく、備えることそのものが寛容なのです。
確かにおっしゃる通りですな。運用規定については決済区分の強化などまだ検討したいところはありますが、最悪の事態に対応する準備が必要だということは理解できました。
都市沈黙船の研究班に南沢地区沈黙船のシミュレーションをさせましょう。これは至急行われる必要があると思います。
こうしている間にも女王感染者の少女が車にはねられて死んでしまう可能性だってあるのですから。高野さんさ、ありがとう。
I wonder if that's the case though, because I feel like like what about in like Watanabe and Maitashi when Rito was killed, but no one really reacted to it, and the disaster never happened in those arts. It's still a mystery that we haven't really answered. I guess one of the ideas is that the corpses are like discovered by villagers or something. But like, would that really matter? I feel like it shouldn't, but maybe it just works differently.
また質問しますので着席してくださって結構です。
I'll probably answer it in this arc, I assume. Thanks to a push from one of my backers, things were decided without too much of a problem. It took me almost all day to explain it to them, but it only took a short time to come to a decision. Nobody criticized, ridiculed, or tried to reject my father's articles out of hand. In the files they're all reading today are the very same shameful articles those haughty authorities left their footprints on as they trampled them and my grandfather's heart. But they aren't ridiculing the articles, they are reading what was once rejected. It's nothing big at glance, but in this moment, my grandfather's research is being recognized for the first time. My heart is filled with satisfaction to see people discussing amongst each other while pointing to my grandfather's files and raising them as proof. I've worked so hard for this day. Grandpa in heaven, can you see this? Happy Takano. So another thing that this indicates that this whole contingency plan that she made, which I forgot what it was called, was made in like good faith, like in an actual like made for an actual emergency situation where she was genuinely worried about it spreading and stuff. Which made sense, because like I said, we still need to see why she switched from genuinely researching the project to becoming the cursed god. Again, I think it's gonna probably do with the lack of funding slash maybe the idea that this disease wasn't, or this research wasn't going to become public in the future or something like that. But yeah. How many do we have? Because I wanna kind of create a pace going forward. So we have 8, 9, 13, 13, 15, 18, 21, 23. Okay, we have a lot. Actually, like, how is it, like, relatively to, like, our stuff? Because I do think we should probably, like, just in case we need to increase the pace, even though I can't do it for this video since since I do have to do something else after this. But I'm willing to, like, move it up to, like, guaranteed 4, I guess, if I need to. 7, this would be 8. It'd be like what? Yeah, we can probably start doing 4 an episode. But not tonight. This time I'm gonna have to leave you a bit early. Again, last couple episodes have been pretty fast, but next time we'll try to hit those hour-long episodes again. Do maybe 4 or 5. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's kind of wrap it up today. We got some good fragments. I mean, I guess technically the last fragment wasn't sad, so that's nice, but some low vibes. At least there was some nice moments. It's nice to see me on again, as per usual. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with some more Connect the Fragments. Hopefully we'll see what's up with we might get into like the murders and stuff, I think, relatively soon, I assume. So yeah, that should be fun. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.